Well, Kathrena Hunter. This deck has been doing some work for me on the ladder. We're going to be looking at some highlights from the end of last season, that's the May season. And really wasn't expecting the deck to be effective at all. I mean, this is a deck that plays King Krush. I mean, when was the last time that King Krush appeared in a competitive meta on the ladder? I mean, really, you probably have to look back at the early days of Hearthstone to see King Krush being played competitively. So I'm really happy to see King Krush back. I love this card. Such an awesome card. I mean, come on, it's a freaking Devil's Saw. It's a giant Devil's Saw. That's so awesome. And to try and get, to get your Kathrena synergy with him is just amazing. And actually, as you'll see in this video, game winning. So early in this deck, you play your secrets. You have your Mad Scientist, still continues to be a very good card. You have your secrets, you have secret synergy with Cloaked Huntress. Get those secrets out early. Of course, that then that synergizes with the Emerald Spellstone. You even have Witchwood Grizzly in this deck, which is pretty awesome. And for the ultimate in value, Deathstalker Rexar. Just, an endless supply of zombie beasts, which can win games outright, particularly if you get the poison effects, the rush effects, the charge effects. That in itself can mean game over for your opponent. So, Kathrena Hunter. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Kathrena? I don't know. Double Spellbreaker in this deck to silence some taunts or to silence some Void Lords, if you still see that being played. Q-Block's still around, not to the extent that it was before, but it's still around. Okay, so let's look at our first little highlight. And we've got a board here. We're going up against a Warlock. He's nearly dead. I mean, this showcases the amount of pressure that you can put on with this deck very early. It's turn 6. We have a board. He doesn't. And he's really taking his time here, thinking about how he wants to play this. Can he survive? Can he board clear? Can he heal and board clear? I mean, it's wild mode. The possibilities are endless, right? Yeah, Witchwood Grizzly. Doing some work for us. Doing some work. So it's crunch time now. Does he have an answer? Or does he not?
We're gonna be rich.
Okay. He spent the last 2 minutes thinking about whether or not to Reno. Which now actually makes me wonder. He's either BMing me, wasting my time, or he had other viable options in his hand that he was thinking about playing, but decided not to. Interesting. We're killing that. We are killing that. Some of you would be saying, oh no, you should have gone face. Just do as much damage as you can. If he has Zola, we're screwed. What we can't cope with is another Reno Jackson coming down at some point later in the game. So that was the reason for trading there, as opposed to maximising face damage.
No, trust me.
Okay. That is worth silencing, I think. And I think now we can push. If he wants to Zola a Sludge Belcher, fine. It's nowhere near as bad as Reno being Zola'd back to hand, right? And this is nice because it should encourage a double trade here.
Well played.
He's really taking his time. That's pretty good for him. But I get the buff on my weapon. So that's going to go face. That 4-2 is going to go face. It's a lot of damage. Or do I use the weapon on the Belcher? Do I kill the Sludge Belcher here? Nah, we push face. We've seen Reno. We've seen Reno, and if he doesn't have any more healing, then we can just press that hero power button for the next few turns and win the game like that. It's turn 9, so there's no Blood Reaver Gul'dan. And actually that is the one card that could screw us up, because if he can get that going, and if he can start healing every turn with that hero power, I mean, it certainly negates our hero power when he does that. So that's the one thing that could screw with us.
I wonder.
If he does manage to clear this board and somehow heal himself or put another taunt down, we can refill the board with some wolves.
Almost out of time.
Little bit of healing there. Little bit of healing.
Bathe in flames.
Okay, that's really good. Oh, and that is exceptionally good for him. Exceptionally good for him. Means he's not dead. Not yet, anyway. A phenomenal amount of pressure here being placed on this Warlock. The question now is, can he board clear and heal at the same time?
Darkness rises.
Or put a big fat taunt in the way. Well, we have King Krush. And that is certainly game over. Is that actually precise lethal? Wow. Had we not drawn King Krush, and then had he got Gul'dan, would we have lost that game? It's worth considering.
Let the hunt begin.
Okay, let's look at this full game against a priest. Now, this deck runs Secret Keeper, which is quite interesting. Every time I've tried to play Secret Keeper, I've always got wrecked, because they've always had an answer, they've always had a Shadow Word Pain, they've always had something that wrecks me.
I'll never tell.
And I've never been able to snowball with Secret Keeper. I remember back in the day with Secret's Paladin, and even Secret's Hunter going back like a year and a half ago. I remember having a lot of good luck with early Secret Keepers, double Secret Keeper early, and then just utterly snowballing with nothing but secrets being played and just winning games. Sadly, that luck hasn't been present for me. Now, I could have played another secret there, but I valued getting another minion live on the board.
Your magic shall not save you.
And that's really interesting. He didn't silence the Secret Keeper. Huh. So, just continue developing stuff on the board. The trouble at the moment is Secret Keeper... Okay, I was going to say she's not out of range from Shadow Word Pain. But yeah, Dustbreaker is pretty annoying. Pretty good for him, pretty annoying for us. And for priests, I mean, that card is just a massive reset. It's a massive reset for them. Decided to kill that with the bow. I could have left it and then had a weapon charge from Wandering Monster, but I thought it was best to kill it.
To my side.
Oh, always Huffer. Always Huffer. I guess we play her. I guess we play her. It's fine. Kills the Huffer. Interesting. Very interesting. And heals his face.
You wish
Oh,
to live
sure.
forever?
This is getting quite awkward now. He's building a board. I'm not really sure what to do here. Those secrets aren't doing a huge amount for me. And I think I have to use my bow charge here. What's nice about this is my taunt has 6 health, which means he's going to struggle to get through. So I think that was the best defensive play that I could have made. The question is, should I have been a tad more aggressive rather than being defensive? That's the question. And that is really important information. There's no dragon in hand. Huh. And I'll take that. You know, I'll take those trades. Let's still leave my board alive. So Lothar comes down and says, I see you. Well, at least I think that's what he's saying. Feels pretty good here.
The menagerie is for guests only.
That's awkward. That's actually really awkward. Now it's less awkward. Deathstalker Rexar, right on time. I've always been really bad at picking the right beasts. I think there is an element of skill involved in this. Not just picking a beast that's good for your next turn, but picking beasts that you anticipate you may need on a future turn. My primary consideration usually tends to be cost, and I tend to go for cheap stuff, thinking that I can combo cheap beasts with other things in my hand. This is actually pretty decent. This is actually pretty decent. This is a board clear. And I get my own board. Okay, it's vulnerable to another Dustbreaker. It's vulnerable to Psychic Scream. It's vulnerable to a lot of things. But we're still keeping the pressure going.
Is someone injured?
Feels good when they have to trade into a 1/1, right?
You are the Shadow's puppet.
Okay, so we just go face. Ignore the big minion on the board. Keep the pressure up.
Oh, the shadow.
Back to hand you go. Play it again. Oh. King Krush is sitting there patiently in our hand, just Waiting to be played. He isn't playing any spells. Go on, play a spell. So, how much damage is this? It's not lethal, nowhere near, but... So if in doubt, build a beast. A stealthed Flappy Bird. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty damn good. So, in the interests of playing around Psychic Scream, we kill off as many of our rats as possible. Do you know, if he has Psychic Scream here, it doesn't even matter. Because we'll just keep building more zombie beasts. The value chain will continue forever.
Give me a quest.
And that's fine too. Because now, I smell lethal.
Secret agent, coming.
I smell lethal. If we get Wind Fury on this attack... Yep, always Wind Fury. Okay. Flappy Bird has done its job. And the perfect finisher. King Krush. Feels amazing when you can actually finish games with King Krush. Okay. Final game. It's a rogue. And if it's Kingsbane Rogue, I'm not going to be thrilled. I really don't like playing against a Kingsbane Rogue. Really annoy me. Almost annoys me as much as Togwaggle Druid. Those are the only two decks at the moment that annoy the hell out of me. Surprisingly, I don't mind playing against aggro decks. I don't mind Q-Block so much, but something about Togwaggle Druid that really annoys me, and there's something about Kingsbane Rogue that really, really annoys me. This does not appear to be Kingsbane Rogue. Thank God, it appears to be a normal aggro rogue with patches, who is no longer in charge, of course. So, coining out Scientist feels like a waste of the coin, perhaps, because I don't have a 2-drop minion that I can play on the next turn. I have a secret, which isn't going to do much. But I felt the need to do that because I felt the need to put some kind of pressure out onto the board, and that is amazing. And that just probably wins the game for us. Crypt Lord. He's going to have to spend the next 2-3 turns throwing his face into that thing. Hero powering, throw face in, means you're not developing minions, means that we win the game. We get tempo. So that coin Scientist play, look, it worked out. Perfect series of events with positive RNGs, all you can ask for with this game.
Trust the pirate's code.
So he's pirate heavy. He's pirate heavy here. Feels fine. If we play Animal Companion, we could roll a Leok. Perfect RNG. Perfect RNG. He's never going to get this board back. He's never going to get a foothold on this board again.
I see.
Fine. That Lotheb's going back to hand. And as good as Lotheb is, it's too slow in this context. And that synergy there, that's with Cloaked Huntress still making the secret cost 0 despite Lotheb. That's pretty nuts.
Feed the fish, landlubber. Feed the fish, landlubber.
And really and truly, as good as that is, 4 damage weapon's pretty awesome. You ain't beating a freezing trap in this instance.
Such easy, smart moves.
Yeah. So we don't get to end the game with King Krush like before, but that's still a really sweet win. When RNG actually goes your way, feels amazing. So this Kathrena Hunter by a player called Anno. I don't think that's his or her full name. I think that's I think I abbreviated that. But yeah, Kathrena Hunter works out pretty well. I've had some dead games with this deck though, or some dead draws. You end up with King Krush or Savannah Highmane or Kathrena in your opening hand, and sometimes that's way too slow. If you see Deathstalker Rexar in your opening hand, and that's good actually, because he is a proactive play on turn 6 that has an immediate impact on the board. The 2 damage AoE is wonderful against aggro. If you're going up against aggro, he's a card that you may want to consider keeping, even though you're looking for your secret keepers, your scientists, your animal companions. If you have a secret keeper and maybe a secret in hand early, that's good too. You're looking for cloaked huntresses and maybe some secrets early too. So those are the things you're searching for very early. But as I say, if Deathstalker Rexar pops up, it can be a good thing too. But as I say, I've had some dead games where I've drawn Kathrena and King Krush and Highmane, and I've just been blown out of the water by mid-range aggressive decks. So yes, there is an element of luck needed with the draw. Sometimes you know, despite having early game, despite having a secret keeper, you may not have a secret to go with her, and then you know a 2/3 beetle trades into your secret keeper and you're sad. So there's issues there. Is secret keeper needed in this deck? Is she a good card? Does she fit in well with the current meta? Is she proactive? Is she effective enough against some of the early bodies that get played, like 2/3s, for example? Even 2/2s. I mean, she dies, right? She's got 1 attack, 2 health. She dies when she trades with a 2/2, and she can't kill the 2/2 either, unless you buff her with a secret. But there's been instances where I've had Secret Keeper and you know, no secrets to play. But regardless of all of that, this is a tremendously fun deck to play. And as I say, anytime you can get lethal with King Krush, you know, it's just a tremendous experience. So yeah. So thanks very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.